Hey, Chaun Vaughn here of Vaughn Media LLC, back to share with you more strategic planning tips. Today, let's focus on how you should prepare to host a strategic planning session. Let's go.
First up, know your objectives. When preparing for a strategy session, as the leader or CEO, it is important to think in advance about what you're hoping to achieve. This will ultimately help set the tone for the strategic planning session. Now, a good question to ask yourself is, what do I envision for my company or my team 12 months from now? Once you start formulating some ideas, then you're able to get a starting point. Now, this is not to say that from the strategic planning session, these will be the only objectives, because I'm sure there will be more objectives that will come out of the planning session, but this is a great start for your strategy session. And once you have that starting point, now you can move into deciding on the planning team. This is a very important component to having a successful strategic planning session. Now that you have some idea of your objectives, who would be a good fit for your strategy team? Now, do remember that you want to use team members across the organization, members who represent every facet of the company, and most definitely make sure that your team is diverse. Now, once you have your team in place, be sure to make sure that every single team member understands their role and their responsibility. Now, a rule of thumb for the size of your strategy team should be anywhere between 9 to 11 members. A successful strategic planning session also means coming armed with data. Have each team member come with the necessary data as it relates to their core areas that can be shared with the greater group. This will aid in the discussion around the strategic objectives. Other data and resources that you may want to come to the strategic planning session with are, if you have a strategic plan from before, bring that. You definitely want to have your financial records, and also make sure that everyone is aware of the mission and vision statements. And finally, schedule the time needed. Whether this is your first strategic planning session or you do them yearly, you want to make sure that you are scheduling enough time to work the process. If this is your first time conducting a strategic planning session, my suggestion would be to schedule at least 3 to 6 months of meetings and discussions to ensure that the strategic plan is as detailed as possible. So there you have it. Planning a strategy session is an in-depth task that is going to take time and energy. But guess what? You don't have to go at it alone. We at Vaughn Media LLC thrive on helping businesses and leaders work through processes that engage their team to achieve results. So, we would be more than happy to help you in planning and facilitating your next strategic planning session. Head on over to vaughnmediallc.com and schedule a discovery call with us today.